Welcome to Appointy Tutorials. In this video we're going to talk about the last tab, Marketplace. As you can see, this tab deals with all the apps and integration. As soon as you click on the link, you would be directed to this page, which starts off with StaffPick. But if you see at the top, it'll tell you the active apps. So right now I have the Outlook calendar reserved with Google, Zoom meetings and PayPal active. Now the first tab that you can integrate with or see the apps that are there on Appointy is the StaffPick. So the first one is the iPhone app. Now with the Appointy interface you get a mobile app that you can use. Now this app can be used by the administrator as well as the staff members. Now we have this app on both Android and iPhone platform. In addition to that, you also have reserved with Google. So the favorites or the most used apps are over here. This also includes Zapier, Square, Google Calendar and Outlook. Now the one below that is the Calendar tab. So Appointy integrates with iCal, Outlook and Google Calendar. Now if you want to integrate with any of these calendars, let's take Google for example, you click on the Google Calendar tab and then click on Connect. The system will automatically detect the email that's there on the system. Once you click on that, it will update and integrate. You would also get another pop-up that says allow access, so please click on allow access to Appointy on your Google Calendar and then you can integrate the app. Now what happens over here is that by default the Google Calendar is set to one-way synchronization, which means any appointment that's booked on Appointy is going to create an event on Google Calendar, but not the other way around. So what you need to do is change it to both ways if you want all events booked or updated on Google Calendar to be marked as blocked on Appointy. Now if you see, it does mention what the one-way and the two-way synchronization actually does and how to enable this. So enable this by clicking on both ways. Now if you have multiple sub calendars, you can click on change and it'll give you an option over here. So our system would detect and then you can have that particular calendar linked to the Appointy account. Now the same thing goes with the Outlook. The system's gonna remember or automatically pull up if you have Office 365 on your computer. The system's gonna automatically detect the account and it'll let you know. Again, we have the one-way and the both-way sync over here. So if you want events from Outlook to be blocked on Appointy, make sure that it is integrated in both ways. Then we also have iCal. Now with iCal, as of now, we have a one-way synchronization, which means any appointment that's booked on Appointy is going to show up on iCal, but we don't have a both-way sync for iCal. That means any event created on iCal will not block time on Appointy. Then the one below that is the payment gateways. So these are the 4 payment gateways that we integrate with: Square, Stripe, PayPal and Authorize.net. The key point over here is when you are adding the PayPal or linking the PayPal account to Appointy, you would need to put in the email address with which you created that PayPal account. So that way Appointy would be able to integrate with PayPal. Same thing with Square and Stripe. So when you click on Connect, the system is going to detect if you have a Square account or a Stripe account and it will automatically fill that up. So as you can see over here, it's asking for the email and the password and asking you to log into my Square account. The same thing happens if I go for Stripe. I click on Connect, it'll ask me to log into my Stripe account. Right, so you see over here Stripe, and last but not the least, same with Authorize.net. That's the last one over here. The one below that is social, so you can integrate Appointy onto your Facebook page from here. You can also integrate Appointy onto your Instagram page and your website. So if you're facing any issues with any kind of integrations, please initiate a chat by clicking on this bottom right icon of the chat. The one below that is Analytics. So we integrate with Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, and Facebook Pixel. What this basically does is if you're running any AdWords or any campaigns on Facebook, the system's going to then communicate with Appointy and let them know that, okay, so you ran let's say a marketing ad campaign on Facebook, and 15 out of 30 people or 15 out of 100 people clicked on that link and booked an appointment on Appointy. So that data is then going to be sent to Facebook Pixel or Google Analytics, so you would know how many or what's your conversion rate. The one below that is reserved with Google. Now what we've done over here, that we have partnered with Google, and what this basically does is if you have a Google My Business page or an account, they would have or add a book now button over there, so people could search for your business online and they would get a book now button and they can book an appointment from the search result itself. So what you would need to do is there are some criteria that you need to meet. You need to have a physical address, you need to have a cost for the service, the address on the Google card should match the address on Appointy, so on and so forth. So what you can do is you can opt in over here. So as soon as you opt in, we would get the request and then we would forward it to Google. It takes about a week or two for Google to approve that, and once it's done, it'll be live and then people will be able to search and book appointments from Google. Then below marketing, the last tab is meeting. So we do integrate with Zoom meetings, so anybody who books an appointment would get a Zoom meeting link. So as you can see right now, I have it integrated. Let me just revoke. So it's going to look something like this. You click on connect, it'll ask you to sign into your Zoom account, and once you do, it'll ask you to authorize. Now once that's done, you would be able to see the settings over here. So you can change the Zoom meeting settings, allow participants to join before the host, mute participants upon entry, so on and so forth. Couple of things that you need to make sure or keep in mind over here is that every appointment is an event for Zoom. So if a person is booking multiple appointments with the same staff member, or he books 2 or 3 appointments, he would get separate links. So in a scenario where you have a capacity and quantity booking, we would suggest that you create so what happens is that with every Zoom account you have like a personal ID that remains the same, doesn't change. What you can do is you can copy and paste that in the staff description, and as I have explained earlier in the customization video, you can customize the email. So what that would do is you would have the ability to get multiple people have the same meeting ID, and they can join in as a group class or a group session. Again, in case of a recurring booking, only the first appointment or the first booking will get the Zoom link, and we're working on the updates for the meeting link to be sent out on all the appointments. Again, the workaround would be to use the personal ID and copy and paste it in either the service or the staff description. So that's it for the apps and integration. Again, if you're facing any issues with any kind of apps or integration, please do initiate a chat with us and we would be more than happy to help. Thank you very much and have a great day.